Are we live? Day two of our challenge. I'm so excited to be here with you. So, oh, I can't tag people right now. Okay, well, I'll go back in and tag you guys at the end of the live. I just spent a few minutes tagging everyone, and then Facebook told me that I couldn't tag anyone. I got like a flag, so I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I'll tag you in this once the video's done. I'm so stoked to be here with you. So yesterday was awesome. Yesterday we really broke the ice. If you don't know me, then you got a chance to kind of know what I'm about. And today, oh my gosh, I've got an exciting talk for you guys planned. We're going to talk about excuses. I mean, yes, we're talking about de-stressing if you've got your PDF. We're definitely going to talk about de-stressing. And let's see, if you're here live, let's get a comment. Let's see a hello wave in the comment section. Anybody here live with me at our day 2 challenge? If you have your PDF, we're going to fill out some great questions today, but what we're going to talk about kind of veers a little bit from that. So we're going to start with talking about mindfulness. So mindfulness is a really amazing tool to de-stress. Right? It has been scientifically proven to help us to go from that saber-toothed tiger, fight or flight, sympathetic part of our nervous system, switch into parasympathetic, into rest and digest, rejuvenate, heal, part of our nervous system. We're on one end of the spectrum or the other. So by practicing mindfulness, we move into that more restful part of our nervous system. So what do you know about mindfulness? So my guess is like knowing the group of women who are here, knowing my community, most of us have probably been to a yoga class before in our life, or like a meditation class or something, or have a meditation app or something like that. And if you don't, that's okay. That's why we're talking about this, so that you understand. But for most of us, like, we have these tools, these mindfulness tools. Mindfulness is where we use our attention and we focus our attention onto something present. So instead of thinking about something in the future, or thinking about something in the past, or thinking about something in the other room an hour from now, we are thinking about what's happening in our body, in our experience in this present moment. So you can do that through breathing. You can do that through taking breath in your nose and feeling the sensations of the breath moving in and out of your nostrils. You can do that through feeling your feet on the floor. What mindfulness exercises do you know? Get in the comments box. Tell me, like, when you think of mindfulness, or like a practice of a meditation practice, what comes to mind? When I ask myself that, I've got a few things that come up kind of from the past. I've got like, immediately I think of 4x4 breath, because that's something that I go to all the time. And it's, you breathe in for 4 counts and you breathe out for 4 counts. And it's this balancing breath. I also remember a visualization that somebody taught to me when I was a child. And so I'll visualize myself in my mind's eye. Well, hey, Tanya, thanks for joining us. I'm stoked that you're here live, girl. So this meditation that I learned when I was young, you sit in your mind's eye. So like, you visualize your eyeballs and then take it just behind your eyeballs into your headspace. And imagine that you're in a white room. And then imagine there's one black hole in this completely white room, and you're sitting at the edge of it, and any thoughts that you have go rushing down into that black hole in the floor. And hey, Rachel, yeah, girl, remembering to eat, that is such an amazing practice, like, truly. And yeah, we'll talk more about that as the week goes on. We're gonna have a whole day kind of on eating and on nourishing ourselves. So all right, so, and just a reminder, the comments come through a little bit late. So if I don't get to your comment, I'm gonna talk to you at the end of this, or I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna like type back to you a little bit after. So if you're joining for the replay, still be involved, still comment, and I'll come back through and get ya. All right, so we talked about mindfulness. So like we know what mindfulness is. Now we know, oh hey girl, hey Jessica. So we know what mindfulness is. Most of us have some idea of like something that we could do that's mindful that we've been taught in our life, like even just to like take 5 breaths or to count backwards from 10 as you breathe slowly, things like that. Um, hey Jill. Hey Jessica. Oh, thank you. These are some thrift store earrings that I found. Um, so what stops us from doing this? Like if we know, like holy shit, like I would be a different person if I spent 10 minutes a day doing some mindfulness practice. Um, Most of us don't. What stops us from doing that? Because it sounds great. It's like we talked about yesterday. It's one of those really great ideas that sounds so good. But then how do we actually put that into practice in our life? So what first off, what stops us is excuses, straight up. Like we are these wonderful, amazing evolved beings, and we have all these desires and dreams, and then we let our brains come up with excuses to squash them. And so these excuses, so there's some common ones, and I want you to raise your hand if you've ever used this excuse. These are all excuses that I have personally used. These are excuses that I find my clients using all the time, and excuses that I bet that you can relate with too. So number one, what have we got? The needs of others are more important. The needs of others are more important than my own. And that's like children, pets, spouse, the people that you see on the daily, the animals you see on the daily that rely on you. How many of you guys have used that excuse? Hand raise in the comments box. We believe that we have to do all of the things for all these people in our life before we can do anything for ourselves, before we maybe even deserve a few minutes to do something for us. So what does that end up actually turning into though? Hey Amy, I'm so glad that you're here. So this ends up turning into us late at night being completely wiped out, eating junk food, watching Game of Thrones. Right? Like again, how many of us have been there? Like so totally. And you know what? There's a time and a place for that. There's nothing wrong with spending some enjoyable time on the couch. However, if that's the way that every single night of your week is ending, or if that's how like multiple days of your week are turning out, what I'm seeing then is that there's not enough energy left over for you. Maybe there's some time, but there isn't that energy. So what's up with that? Number 2 excuse. That brings us right into it. I'm too tired. How many of you are ready to put a hand up in the box? I am too tired to work out. I'm too tired to go outside and take a walk or to sit and meditate. I'm too tired. Because really it's so much easier just to like turn our brain off with the screen. I'm about to give you a really big breaking news moment. Ready? Breaking news. The sleep. Sleep is not the only thing that will give you energy. All right, one more time. Sleep is not the only thing that will give you energy. Yes, it does give us energy. We need 8 hours-ish of sleep every night. That's how our bodies work. That's how our brains function. That's what we need. And that's an amazing way to practice self-care. But sleep is not the only thing that gives us energy. That's not that can't be the only thing that goes that we are doing in our life to give us energy. Otherwise, we're going to be on empty. We're going to be on running total empty, secretly kind of despising the people that we're taking care of maybe, because we're so fucking exhausted. We just like can't catch a break, right? The head spins, we just can't catch a break. So let me now remind you of maybe some times when you have had extra energy. So like think about, so if you're married, your wedding day, or like preparing for your wedding, did you need any extra coffee to get you through your wedding day? Or think back a little further, maybe to prom? Yeah, like back in high school, were you like, I am too tired, I can't go to this dance tonight? No, you're like fucking amped and like putting your makeup on and putting your heels on and getting all excited and ready to go because you were excited about something. There's something that like gave you this energy, this momentum. And vacations can kind of do the same thing. Like if you're really excited about a vacation, you can go from like burnt out to like doing everything that you need to do, plus packing up your kids and your spouse and your pets and your house and getting everything out the door in a week. If you're really excited for a trip, right? So sleep's not the only thing that gives us energy. Um, you, we're gonna just jump right into number 3. So number 3, it's too much work. I am so guilty. Now that's a little different than I'm too tired, right? Like I'm too tired is like I need to go to frickin' sleep. Like I'm exhausted. But it's too much work is more of like when we're sitting and scrolling on our screen and it's fine or whatever. But you don't feel like you don't feel like you could actually stop what you're doing and go and do something that is good for you, or quote unquote good for you, something that you want to do, right? Maybe you think that sitting in front of your TV or in front of your phone is a break. Maybe you like go, 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 go. And then the moment that you're like, oh, I just get to finally sit down and like scroll TikTok or Instagram or whatever, that is the break. And sure, if you're like really, really in a season of craziness, yeah, for sure. The thing is, we can get stuck there, and then weeks go by, months go by, and that is all that we do with our free time and with our precious energy that we're already running low on. What it sounds like to me when I watch how I used to be and I watch how my clients, where they're emerging from, it's that it's almost like you go from working so hard doing everything for everybody else, and then you think you're taking a break by watching shows, by staying on your screen, but in reality it's kind of this whiplash effect. You're like stuck in this whiplash from one thing, from trying to do everything you're supposed to do to being completely exhausted and unable to do anything. And let me tell you, girlfriend, that completely exhausted, not able to do anything, that's not a break. That isn't freedom. That isn't rest. That's the whiplash effect of your life. So what do we do? Like what the fuck do we do about this? It's like we need to have breakthroughs. We need to be to work towards being the healthiest version of ourselves so that 10 years, 20 years from now, we can be, somebody answered, they want to be able to play with their grandkids and pick them up and throw them in the air 10 years from now. Women want to be able to, do marathons and climb mountains and, how about just like have energy to get through your day and not feel like you have to sit on the ground or on your couch for hours each night to recover from just like regular life, right? So what we can do, hey Rebecca, a little late to the party, all good, I'm stoked that you're here. We're just gonna start talking about solutions. So we've just like, yeah, we all deal with this like excuse bullshit that we all have in our head. And how do we get through it? The solution, people, the solution. I wish there was a simple answer. That would be nice. A pill you could take or a shake you could mix and drink. But it's a little more complicated than that. And you know what? I choose to be really grateful for that complicated process, because that figuring it all out and figuring out how to get yourself to do the things that you want to do is an extraordinarily valuable process. All right. Confidence comes from building trust with yourself. Confidence comes from building trust with yourself. You start to build trust with yourself by showing up day after day, again and again, doing the things that you said you were going to do. And you can build trust with other people like you have and do that with them. And then you can build an even deeper level of trust that is going to pour into every other relationship with yourself So you're showing up again and again for you. All right. So I remember when I was 19. So, and I was not like a sporty person growing up. I very much so became this person as an adult. And I'm about to tell you kind of a pivotal part in my story of what happened. I was like artsy fartsy, missed musical theater, loved to sing. I did love dancing. I've always danced. Um, but like I was partying a lot. I was like, not very concerned about my body besides how it looked. I obsessed over kind of hating how my body looked. So I remember when I was 19 and I was driving in my parents' neighborhood heading to their house, and I drove past the old gym that I would go to when I was in high school. Again, I would go to work out in spurts like crazy, and I would like destroy my body trying to get fit and then, disappear from the gym for 6 months or a year. And I was just like thinking back to that time in my life, and I had this moment where I welled up with tears, and that divine little voice inside said, "You are made to be strong in your body." And it was like fireworks went off in my head. It was like the first time it was like I was like, does God want me to work out? Right? Like, does God want me to work out? And like the simple answers for me, yeah, that was what my heart desired. My heart desired to move my body. But there were all of these obstacles and all these excuses that were stopping me from actually doing that and actually moving towards the desires of my heart. So when you show up for yourself day after day, you're going to be building this unbelievable confidence so deep inside. What this is going to do is it's going to help you figure out, what do you want? Not what does your spouse want, not what does your mom want, not your sister, not your best friend. What do you want? Moving towards the things that make our hearts light up, the things that give us energy, the things that bring us joy. These are the things that's going to lead you to a very full, fulfilling life with purpose and with passion. And so I want to hear from you guys now. You've been quiet in the comments for a minute. I've been talking. I'm going to ask you guys to get a little vulnerable here. And if something comes up for you, what is it that your heart desires so deeply right now? And if you close your eyes and you ask yourself that, the first answer that comes is the answer. The second answer that comes is your brain trying to explain that first answer. What is it that I want? And that's going to be so unique and beautiful to every single one of us, every single one of our hearts, just like every wildflower in existence. What is it that your heart is desiring and that you want to move towards right now? And we can drop the societal judgments, the societal expectations, all that bullshit. And like for me, being kind of like, I had all sorts of dysfunctional eating disorders going on, disordered eating going on, and these like crazy patterns and habits and mind frame. But like in that moment, all of a sudden it didn't matter that I wanted to look a certain way. It was like I found this deeper purpose of like, no, I want to be strong in my body because I've got something to do. And I want to feel really good to do it. I need to have a strong core and be able to walk and be able to bend and move. And I want to do those things. So for me, that's been some of the amazing work. And I get to help my clients do the same thing. So blessed. So blessed. So let's see, we've got some comments coming in. Learning to clean my home and not have it be awfully dirty all the time. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's something that I'm actually working into my life right now too. Yeah, with the home stuff for me, like I take some time to feel super grateful for my house. Before, earlier in our marriage, we lived in a really, really tiny apartment for years, and that's where my son was born. And it was like, and I didn't clean it much. I had a baby and then a toddler, and it was like crazy, and I was always babysitting in it. But uh now I have this whole house, and I think to myself, I am so grateful to have these rooms and to have this floor and to have my husband have painted these walls, and that's a big motivator for me. That helps me to come from that heart-centered place of like, I want to keep my house clean. I want to take care of this place, because I love it and because I'm grateful for it, you know? So I think the alternative, the reason that I didn't clean for a long time is because there's like a stigma. Like, if your house is dirty, then you're a certain way. And I was like, well, you know what? Fuck you. I am that certain way. and because you know, it's just that inner rebel comes out. I've talked about Fuck It Jill before. She's this voice in my head who comes out. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so over time today. We're at 21 minutes. We got some other goals real quick. Stay consistent. Yes. Yes, that's it. That's that showing up for yourself over and over again. Showing up for yourself. Organize your goals. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, check out day 1 in the PDF, Rayanne. There's some really, really good goal and role prioritization worksheet in day 1. So for your day 2 today, in your PDF, you're going to be answering some questions, brainstorming, and thinking, letting this sit, letting this like soak in and absorb into you, and figuring out what is it that you really want. So, all right, it has been my pleasure and honor to be here with you ladies today. Thank you so much for showing up live. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to move away from the stress subject. We're going to start talking about how to honor your body. And if you've ever been to, if you like are a yoga teacher, you've ever been to yoga classes or things like that, that's tossed around a lot. Like, honor your body, honor your body, honor your body. And for the longest time, I thought that meant one thing, and I have come to the conclusion that it means something completely different, and I'm ready to share that conclusion with you tomorrow. So it's gonna be a fun day. We're gonna get kind of some like crazy twisty in our perspective and in our brain, and hopefully let you shake off more and more of that guilt, shake off more and more of that shame, and let you shine as bright as you can, Moonbeam. So until tomorrow, ladies, it is my pleasure and honor. I love you so much. Mwah! I'll see you tomorrow.